And now for some good news, just in time for the new year. The Health Ministry announced on Wednesday evening that the reproduction rate, known as R, dropped to 9.5, under 1 for the first time in weeks. So, is the spread of the coronavirus under control? Does this mean Israel has beaten the fourth wave due to its third dose booster shots? Here to answer these questions and more is Professor Nadav Davidovitch, Director of the School of Public Health at Gurion University. Welcome. So, first of all, what exactly does it mean when you say that R is under 1?
So it means that every person is now infecting less than one person, and if this will continue, of course, we're going to see the shrinking of the outbreak. We need to be careful not to celebrate yet, because we're waiting to see what is going to be the influence of opening schools and the Rosh Hashanah, or the high holidays. But in general, I think this is a very good sign. We have now 2.7 million people vaccinated third dose, and maybe even more important, during the last month, we have more than 200,000, especially young people, that got their first vaccine.
I mean, you touched upon a very important fact, which is the children have just gone back to school. Families just met for holiday meals. I mean, are we going to see now a rise due to all of this?
According to the different models, it might, raise the number of cases by about 5 to 10%. Altogether, if we're taking the fact that many people now are doing tests, including rapid tests and home tests, and the Green Pass now is much more enforced than used to be up until a few weeks ago, I think there'll be maybe some rise. Of course, we need to be very humble now and wait and see how it's going to develop. But I think these are indeed good news for the new year. I think we can be much better in enforcement, and also remember that things like the Panjoya, the students' events, or now the people moving to Uman, to Ukraine, all these are challenges that we must need to take care of them, both by vaccinations, testing, Green Pass, mask, and all of that. And remember that even though the direction is good now, we cannot, lift all things like we did in April and May a few months ago.
I mean, as you mentioned, right, we do have all of these things, more holidays coming up, all these events that are taking place, like the Fanjoya you mentioned, in which thousands or hundreds and thousands of people are coming out, for these massive events. I mean, there aren't so many restrictions in place at the moment. So what does need to be done? I mean, what kind of restrictions should we be seeing?
I think that we need to be much more careful when we have events that are in closed places. I think that at schools, we need to be much more creative and see how we can maybe reduce the number of children in class and see how we are teaching outside. So we know now that basic facts that need to be enforced, the question of hygiene, masks, the difference between closed events and open events. So with closed events, we need to be stricter, but on the other hand, going to the swimming pool outside or parks, I think this should be allowed, not even necessarily with the Green Pass. So learning how to live with the virus is very important, and we need also to help municipalities that are lagging behind, either because of vaccination rates or because of other factors, including socioeconomic factors. And things cannot be just copy-paste altogether. There need to be a strong dialogue between the municipalities, the civic society, religious leaders, social leaders, and see how to adapt to every place according to the demography and the certain characteristics of the local area.
All right, Professor Nadav Davidovitch, thank you so much for speaking with us today, and we'll hope for some more cautious optimism.
Thank you. Shana Tova.
Shana Tova.